Welcome to episode 3 of Walking to the Top. We've actually missed one, which is S Pike, just because the weather's getting on top of us a bit. And we're going to go up Catstye Cam, which is the 14th highest. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. So we've just parked down at Glenriddin, and you walk all the way up this mine track here, which takes you up to a mine. And on the right here we've got Heron Pike, and we can just follow up, and you can just see on the right hand side here, we're not going up the mine, but if you're going up Helvellyn, you will go off right up there. Okay, so I'm just discussing with my son this mine here. I always thought it wasn't a working mine, but it looks like we've got some cars that were coming down, and there's another car parked up there, so we're just wondering if it's actually a museum or not. Looking down there, big river there, all cut out of the valley. It's so nice in summer when you get all these foxgloves coming out and all this greenery. So we're just walking up to a little building on the right hand side here, and there's I mean, it's obviously not in use, but there's grass growing out at the top of it, and it's got like a concrete roof. So I'm wondering if this is part of the mine, maybe to store dynamite or something like that. In fact, looking at the door, in a metal door, it possibly was. And you've got another door on there as well. So just wondering, because it's kind of half into the side, if it was like a dynamite store. Because look at that roof, look how thick, it's a 2-inch concrete thick roof. So I reckon that was an old dynamite store. Right, so it looks like this is actually a youth hostel. The YHA Helvellyn. So this is a Helvellyn youth hostel. If anyone doesn't know what a youth hostel is, I suppose back in the day it was a hostel for youths, but the Youth Hostel Association is basically cheap accommodation, and it's usually a group accommodation where you've got many beds in one room, and it's quite good for travellers. So it says hostel guests only. There we go, so private land. So no parking here unless you're part of the Youth Hostel Association. And down there, that is the YHA Helvellyn. And there's a little bar there that looks like called the Hole in the Wall. So if you ever come here and stop in the youth hostel, you've got your own little private bar. So this is the old mine. This is also where the ski club is. Look at that waterfall there. So in our other video, when we came to the top of Rays, and we got to a ski resort, this is actually the proper way to access it. If you're part of the ski club, you can come and park here. We've got a little part of the YHA there. And here's Almond Lodge. There's a map of the plan of inside. Parking for Lake District National Park permit holders only. And then this takes us up Sticks Pass, Keppel Cove and Helvellyn. Sticks Pass is the way we went up from Rays, but the opposite side from St John's in a Vale. Okay, so Sticks Pass goes up to the right here, and we're going off to the left towards Red Tarn and Helvellyn. Again, this is another route you can take. Probably one of the quieter routes up Helvellyn from this side. You can still do Swirrel Edge and Striding Edge. So this takes you basically up and over the backside of it. Look at this little waterfall. I wonder if this is some sort of water irrigation for the old mines. Look a bit higher up there, it looks like a little hole maybe for this, or it could be for part of the mines. So you can see the old bridge underneath the new bridge. So you can see the wood, and then you can see where the old bridge was put in. Right, some water features here. There's obviously something to do with the mine. If we come up here, we'll hydroelectric water intake. Okay, so that's the water intake for a hydroelectric dam. Quite interesting there. Right, so when you get to this bridge, you've got no choice, but you're going over. Just remember lambing season. Right, when you come over that bridge, take a right and then work your way up here. So as we're coming up here, there's another path that traverses on the opposite side of the river, and that takes you up via Rays to Helvellyn. Okay, so Matthew's thought of a new series, and we're going to do Sleep in the Lakes, where we're going to do 1 hour of tranquil sounds of the lakes, waterfalls and by the lake, and just general being outside sounds. Okay, so now you can see Catstye Cam just in the clouds, just peeking through there, and we're going to cut through these two mountains here, through the little valley there, and then get to the town, and then we're going to walk up the back side of it. There is a scramble going up the front, obviously not this side here, but there is a scramble going up there, but we're going to go round and up the back side of it. Right, so you've got Catstye Cam, this mountain here is Rays, and right over in the distance is Helvellyn. Right, so this is Glenriddin Beck, and when we get round the corner here, this is where it starts getting a bit steeper, so it's been nice and easy going till we get here, and then we're going to be walking up towards Catstye Cam, and it's going to get quite steep, but then level off and then kick up again. So this is where we start to see where it's going up there now. And if you just look down on this side here, look at these walls. There's a river that goes up one side of it and a river that goes up the other. So this is essentially a little kind of island, and it's got all these stone walls. So I wonder if this was like an old sheep pen, or maybe something to do with the water catchment. I'm not actually sure. Right, this is where the path kicks up, gets a bit steeper, and you can just see some fell runners coming down from Helvellyn. There's quite a few coming down there now. We're just looking over there, and there's some like piles of rocks all in a line. Now there's been some sort of maybe a pipe supported on it or something, coming off from possibly a spring, and then it goes down to that little place there. We missed walking past that. Maybe we'll have a look at that when we're walking down. Okay, so we're just getting up that little steep section, and it levels off a bit now before it kicks up again, and then we go off, and then you should be able to see the town from there. And it looks like there's a nice waterfall that we're going to get to as well. Right, we're at 519 meters high. We've got another 400 and something to go. But from here now, this is where you'll start making the height elevation gains, because when you kick around the corner and then you start going straight up. Oh, right, it's starting to get steep now, and you can see quite a good view from here. Just turn around here and have a look. So you can see the whole valley now, and it's looking quite spectacular. Right, in this vast expanse of field, you get one little tree just right in the middle. And it always makes me wonder how that tree's managed to survive and no other tree has. Okay, so on the left here you've got Striding Edge. As you can see where we are, absolutely nobody. And over there, let's see if we can just zoom in. The zoom's not brilliant, but there's at least 50 people I can see, all coming from there, all the way up the ridge, and then on to Helvellyn, and then coming off down Swirrel Edge. Okay, so we're getting up to the clouds now. So the route that the sat-nav was taking us is up here, but what we're doing is we're ignoring it, taking the main route up towards Swirrel Edge and coming back on it. And you can just see the top of Catstye Cam now, just in the clouds. There's a couple of people up there at the moment. Right, so we're at Red Tarn, and this is a tarn that's quite a big one. It's one of the deepest actually, and you can actually see by the colour of it. Unfortunately, I forgot my phone, so I can't check all my stats. And you can actually hear people on Striding Edge having fun. Just as you turn around, look at that expanse of that valley, and you can see how big Red Tarn is as well. And you can see why many people come up here. Such a lovely area. Right, so we're coming up to the clouds. We're nearly the same level as them, and we're coming up to the top of where the start is for Swirrel Edge, and we'll be cutting across back over to Catstye Cam there. So we just take a right on there and then come up onto the edge of Swirrel Edge and Catstye Cam. And if you ever want to wild camp, there's a couple of spots down here. Looks like someone's left some equipment down there, maybe to walk up and come back and collect it later. Right, so this is the first time my son's actually been up to cloud level. And you're saying it looks like smoke just coming up over the top there. And as you look down, you're looking down onto cloud. Look at that valley there. Spectacular. You just see Sticks Pass. And we're in the cloud. Right, this is the final push up to Catstye Cam. And as you can see, we're in the clouds for definite now. This top keeps on disappearing. So I'm having to make sure I know where we are on the sat-nav, which is usually quite easy on this route because you've got nice big paths. Okay, so we're just coming up to the top now. The top of Catstye Cam. There we are, and this is the top. That is the top of Catstye Cam, the 14th highest mountain in England. Right, so we're just heading off back down now, sticking to the left of this, and then going back on ourselves. Okay, so we've just climbed down from these screes, and then we're just coming down the clouds. The clouds have actually got a little bit lower. You could see this tarn just before, but now it's disappearing. Got all these people coming off Swirrel Edge, just out of the clouds, and heading off down. Just saying before, it's just like a conveyor belt of people. They just keep coming. Right, okay, so we're just coming down to this bit. That's your Swirrel Edge path, and then we're going to drop down and back down onto the left, and then carry on following it down. The clouds have really come down now. So yeah, when we were here before, it was dead clear, but now it's not. Love that valley, the way it's sort of, all the paths sort of snake around, and everyone's going left and right through it. So, just having a look at this tarn here, let me zoom in a little bit. And there's like an old road, what looks like an old road just going up there. Now I reckon that's something to do with when it used to be a mine. And there's another little tiny tarn just where there's some people. It's just over there. And again, if I wish, I don't think it's got a name, it's so small. It's probably just a little pond, especially next to this big thing. And then there's a couple of islands down there as well. Okay, so we're just dropping back down. Nice big cairn here. I mean, the path's big enough anyway, but got some sizable cairns going up here. It must be the amount of people that do go up. And yeah, you get huge cairns. Right, so there's a few people swimming. Something I wouldn't do, that's really cold there. But maybe if it was a bit warmer, it'd be more like a thing. Right, so we're going to head off down here now. You can see that little wall that I was on about when we were up there. That, you know, it looks like a proper recognised road. So this must be obviously something to do with the mine. Right, so we're going to go off and stick to the left-hand side of the valley. Right, so we're just on our way down, and you can start to see all the quarry and everything now. We're going to investigate that little thing that I noticed down lower down, see what it is, see if we can work out what it is. Right, so we're back at these walls that are just in line, and that little sort of catchment area at the bottom there. So we'll go down there and see what it is. So you can just see the little bits of sort of jutting out rocks where they're like more like stacks of rocks, and then they're all in line and they come down to this sort of dark area, and then you've got something there that's all built up. So we'll go down and have a look. So this is where these rocks come down to, and then you've got this like concrete structure that's fallen over. This is all, it's not natural rock, this is all concrete. And then all this again, so there's been some sort of concrete structure coming down off the hill, maybe like a pipe, coming down here, and then here. It's where the path's built up. So there was something there. Right, so this is obviously some sort of water feed or some sort of building structure that came down off the mountain there. Still no idea. I'll have to maybe have a little look whether this was like a little hamlet, but why you need extra water when you've got all this water coming off from here and all the water coming off down there. All these interesting little things where you've got where these walls come down and you've got a little hole there. So I'm imagining at some point this was a bit more organised, and obviously it might have been washed away, some stuff, and this has got a lot deeper over the years. So possibly it was just one large sheep pen where they used to keep all the sheep. Okay, we're back in this valley. Such a long valley, this. Kind of reminds me of Wales, Snowdonia, with all these big long valleys. Okay, so we're just coming over the hill now, back to this bridge, and we're near the old mine workings. So all you have to do now to go back to Glenriddin is follow this path all the way down, keep on the left, and then it'll just take you all the way to Glenriddin village. So that's been Catstye Cam, the 14th highest mountain in England. This has been Lost in the Lakes, and I'll see you in the next one.